Hello everyone.
Hi guys.
How's everybody doing? Welcome back, cherie.
Are you asking us?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
asking y'all
good,
and
thank
everybody.
you.
Temi?
Good, thanks.
Oh, that's not really the right attitude to have in the class.
Anyway.
Hi guys, welcome back to Sitting Down with the Sisters podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Ashley.
I'm Ayo.
And I'm Temi.
Hello.
Hello
Welcome,
everybody.
welcome
back.
Welcome.
We hope you guys are liking the season.
Yeah. Do you know we're kind of
We're deep in.
We're close to when we usually put ourselves
Yeah,
on
I
a
was
are.
having a look yesterday.
Last year, by this time, I think we were done.
We were done,
Because it was
yeah.
your birthday.
Just-
Actually, no. Your birthday was at
just
the end of the
after.
month.
break.
Just
Yeah, literally
Yeah.
in 2 weeks or so.
And speaking of birthdays, it's your birthday soon.
Wow. How
Now
are you
you're
feeling?
joining me in that age. You're one
Yeah.
step closer.
You can't tease Temi anymore.
No, you
Well, I
can't. You
but
can, but that time has come. And
How are you feeling about it getting older?
I'm grateful. Like I feel like
It's a
getting older.
blessing.
I mean,
Always.
I'm always excited about that God has allowed me to see it. The age at this point, age just feels so weird to me because
Yeah.
it doesn't like as I'm hearing 28. I'm not seeing 28.
Right.
Do you understand?
And what do you mean by that, seeing
Because
28?
no, because you know when you turn 20, it's like okay. When you turn 21, it's also like okay, you're graduating uni.
Right.
Okay, fine. Okay, I think up till 25 maybe or 23, I was like, yeah, okay.
the age is making
It's
sense.
making sense. As a 25, 26, 20, I'm like, what's different? I don't know.
I hear you.
I don't know. I don't feel
That's
different.
so
I don't,
true, you know.
I don't see a difference in terms of. I feel like my life. I guess this year my life is in a nice place, but at the same time, it's not like that's not been the case the last few years. So I'm just like,
You're just taking it all in.
Do you have? Is there a way that you think a 28-year-old should be?
no,
Right.
Okay,
but it does sound older,
maybe that's what it
and
is.
I
It
feel
really
like I'm
does.
still a child.
It's a
Right.
hefty age.
We're 2 years away from.
Guys, you
30.
say
Yeah.
this, but what do you want us to say at 35?
35. I'm still going to say I'm
Because it
still
will
new
come.
You're still new here.
Well,
I'm
40, you're
forever
still
a baby
new.
girl.
40 still
50,
new here.
you'll be
Yeah,
new.
Still
forever
new
a baby
here.
girl. Until I breathe my
Until
last. I'm baby
the
girl.
Lord calls
me home.
I'm still new here. This is not my home.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm always going to be new here.
Oh,
Right.
you know what?
Child. That's why it's called a child of God. He didn't
That's
say
it.
adult of God.
That's it.
You cannot
Child.
be like a little
Te-
child. If you cannot be like a little child, you cannot enter the kingdom of
You
God.
cannot inherit
That is
That's
it. That
be
is it. So that
childlike.
innocence needs to continue forever.
Yes. So
When
I-
you turned 28, actually, did you feel a difference?
Nope.
Sorry, that answer was so
Do you
quick.
understand? Like, I'm just like,
No time wasted.
I think it was a mental difference. Like I thought I'm not 27, I'm
not a
28
baby.
mentally. But in terms of just, I guess, because I'm ever evolving anyway, regardless of
not the
age.
age.
That's
So
it.
I don't think the
It's
age
not
is what's
tied to a
making me
number.
evolve.
Yeah.
do you know what? Someone made that point to me today, actually. They were literally like, I don't think of it as only on my birthday that I'm growing or my life
Right.
is changing. Like, every day.
It's
every
Whether it's
day
my
I'm
birthday or not,
changing.
there will be something new.
Something's
It's
happening
true.
because we are by God's grace
Something
trying
will
to
show me
level up.
when a direct debit comes out.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You're right.
Or brown envelope comes through the post.
No, it's
Yeah.
too much.
No, the
said it.
responsibility is be piling.
The birthday is just, it's just there.
The birthdays.
Do you know what I mean? I'm always grateful. I'm big on birthdays though. I feel like celebrating
Same.
yourself or just celebrating other people on their birthdays. Like I'm more about celebrating other people on their birthday. Me, I like to relax and chill on my birthday, but also I like to laugh and eat.
Right.
So in saying that, what are you doing for your birthday?
Right. Well,
a good question.
Right, because
Why
you
didn't
know
let
she
her know?
said she likes
Because
to
she informed
celebrate
me
for
of
her
something.
birthday.
She informed me.
Yeah, because obviously we haven't
You
seen Ken
what?
yet because we didn't come together, babes. I saw her on the train.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
fair.
So and I haven't even told you everything, to be fair.
Right. Oh.
So-
wow.
So I'm going away. Obviously, by the time
no, stop.
it's a little staycation in the UK, which
Which is
lovely.
what you wanted.
what I
Yeah.
wanted,
She remember she
exactly.
said that.
She
the
said
last
she
time
wanted to
we
just
saw
go away
each
for a
other.
little
And I
bit.
wanted to just,
And I wanted to
be
force
in a
myself to
nice
come.
short-
I know.
Yeah. I understand her.
Low
I
key
get
on the
it.
train, I asked her,
Because on
where
your
you gonna
birthday
be?
by
But
yourself.
she didn't disclose the
I'm not
location.
disclosing it.
I
Before you
really
guys show
have a
up.
location.
Yeah, but okay, no problem. And the thing is, they both
I got it. Don't turn it off.
They both drive, so if you want to show up, I wouldn't mind if you
No.
both showed up. Anyways,
yay.
so
I
the
feel wanted
surprise
and seen.
is- no, genuinely, I wouldn't actually mind. It would be nice if you two.
Don't
come.
worry about it.
Yuck. Anyway,
No, yuck.
so I've been booked like a little hotel getaway on my own, a little staycation, which is what I wanted.
Wow.
And I've been booked a massage.
Wow.
I've been booked to go see a show in the theatre. Wow. So
Would you like to share what the show is?
Yes, it's called Speed. And it's
Okay.
basically about a group of adults who were cautioned, like, you know those people that have to go and do what do you call, you know, driving awareness, speed awareness.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
So they all go there, and then it becomes like I guess a group therapy theatre show
Oh,
on
okay.
life issues of the adult.
So they just met there and then they started.
And it starts. That's what
Oh,
the
that is so
therapy says.
Good concept.
interesting.
Yeah. So
It's my type of show. Maybe
Yeah.
I might just
Yeah.
turn up.
you can. The show's in London.
Oh,
But
Lovely.
yeah, that's on the actual.
this
day
is
of my
nice.
birthday.
Oh,
But
that's
yeah,
gonna be.
the
That is such a
Bossage
lovely like birthday gift.
Gift.
Honestly, the baby girl lifestyle is really. It's
where it's at.
It's
Wow.
powerful.
That is very powerful.
No, honestly, and by the time this comes out, I would have.
You'd
been
have
back.
done
yeah,
it.
you're back.
Nice. Oh, I love that for you, girl.
Wow.
I'm excited because this time last year we were preparing for my birthday.
Oh my god.
And that birthday,
we
as
actually
we've already
were.
told
One
you,
of the best.
I still look
like,
back at the
days
photos. I even
of
went
my
through
life.
it today. It was.
But I couldn't do that every year.
Yeah,
I
see
can
what you
imagine
mean.
it is
It's
a lot.
It was a lot.
But it was worth it for the one time that we did
I'm
do
doing
it.
it again for 30, so you guys
Period.
stay,
Guys,
stay
in a
locked
different country.
Literally, we've all been speaking about our 30th. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it has to be
Do you have a plan?
marvelous. I think so.
40 plus.
I think so. Like, I just want my people in a different country.
Okay.
Literally.
I want you
Do
to
you
be
know
fair,
what?
same with you.
I'm not gonna lie. You know, like, we need to be saving money throughout like the next 2 years.
Yeah.
Because the milestones that we're about to,
I don't think we're actually prepared.
Well,
Yeah.
no.
Mentally.
especially because
You're
our
right.
30th is back to back,
Back
and
to
we
back.
all want to be away. And it's not that I'm not missing anyone's birthday
And what
that year.
I don't like that our birthdays are not close up because then it would have been nice to do a joint
Done
one.
all together, yeah.
That would have been cute.
That would be cute, but can I be honest? I don't want a joint one, you know.
Okay, no problem.
She said I want all the shine on me.
For my 30th, I definitely want just me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you have a destination in mind?
I'm in pain. Mine's either
I
Iceland or
do.
Norway.
You said
I remember
Iceland
you
or
said,
Norway.
yeah.
I want mine. The thing is, I don't want mine too far away, and I want to
Okay.
be able to cover accommodation. Like by God's grace, is all like
perfect.
cover because I want us to all stay in the same place. Like
Yeah, yeah,
basically,
yeah.
kind of what you did, but cover accommodation. So everyone just pays for flights. Come
Right.
down like a huge villa.
You're powerful.
You're
Like
serious.
me and my husband and his friends and my friends and their partners. I want us to all be together.
Can we just
Did everybody
rewind a
hear
little
that?
bit?
Yeah.
Because
Everyone
as
is
of this
gonna
moment,
be-
she is not married.
Right. But
But-
she's speaking that which is not yet in existence
As it will be.
into.
Hallelujah.
I can't wait to watch this back. But no,
that's powerful.
that's literally what I want.
I love that.
And I want like I want one of the days we have like a dinner and we have a theme and it's like
A dress
what is
up.
it like pastels color
Ooh.
time. Guys,
Literally
anyway,
colour rich in life.
that's
No,
thank
you guys
Jesus.
know what
Yeah,
I'm
what about
late.
you? Yeah, what-
No, do you know why? Because she's still not 28, so she's probably still buffering.
No, bye. No,
Actually,
I don't
when
want to go away. I don't want it to be
wanna go-
far either.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because I don't want it to be
too expensive.
Unfortunately,
Expensive
we
for
have to think
everyone.
of stuff like annual leave and
Right.
all
Well,
of that.
I'm
I don't
not,
want people
so
to take.
I'm going regardless.
Yeah,
Do you get?
period. Of course, but I don't want it to be far. But I don't know.
You don't know yet.
No.
I see you doing.
It'll be somewhere warm.
Mediterranean vibes.
Okay.
Maybe you like Italy and that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
places
maybe
like that.
Greece.
Yes.
You want hot.
Somewhere
I want somewhere
warm and
cold.
just nice. Yeah. But
Guys,
everyone
wow.
can relax. As much as you're there for my birthday celebration, I also want it to be a vacation for the people that are invited.
2027 is gonna be a powerful year. By the way.
2027.
I don't even.
No, it's 20,
Yeah, we're
27. Yeah,
Yeah,
20.
2027. Do you know
Wow.
on that though? How do you guys find when it comes to like inviting your friends to these things? How do you decide who you invite and stuff? 'Cause
Oh,
you know,
how
as
you
we're getting
invite.
older,
Sorry. I'm not like for me. It's getting
Mine's
easy.
not hard.
Oh, it's getting easier.
I was even
Yeah.
gonna say I don't think it's
It's
that
getting
hard
easier.
for me.
I think because I'm just like. You shouldn't be surprised if you're not invited, and not even in a mean way, but the people that I consider my inner circle, they know who they are.
Thank you, Ashley. I think it's pretty clear. I don't
Yeah.
think a lot of people would expect an invite anyway.
Right.
Because it's very, with me, there's not black and white, but my friends know who my friends are and vice
Right.
versa. I
I
don't
make
think
it
there's
very
any
clear.
like sort of grey area with my friendships.
that's fair. But you know, on a trip like this, yeah, is it a big trip? Like, is it a lot of people, or is it like select, like smaller circle?
Personally, my smaller circle.
Select.
I think I want it to be select.
Because you guys know I like to bring all my friends together.
Yeah, no, I know what you
All
mean
of
from
them.
different groups.
So that sometimes is the difficult part.
Oh, if you're talking
Oh,
about like a
right.
mixture of
A
different
mixture of
groups,
people.
yes, I probably would have a mixture if that's what you're talking about. But then even my mixture is still select.
It's still select.
If that makes
yeah, I
sense.
get
There's-
that as well. I agree.
There isn't going to be that many people in
I
total.
feel like it's obvious too. It's like
because I feel like you do it depending on what the like the way you celebrate. So say if you were doing like a party, of course you'd broaden it out a bit more to like, oh, friends that you're close to, but you're not that close. Whereas a trip, someone's going to be around you like a lot of the time. It's personal, it's intimate. They're seeing like your partners, your husband, your significant other.
Yeah, you're seeing theirs too, potentially.
Right,
like
so
everyone's
of course you'd want it,
because that mine's a +1. Hope God willing, I want everyone to
so
come.
of course it would be like,
come with your husbands and your partners.
You don't want to put your friends in a position where they're not comfortable.
Yeah, you're right.
Absolutely.
You're right. That's true, because I feel like selecting your list is high key, very key, because people's energy can shift the entire atmosphere. Oh, 100%. And the more I'm getting older, like I'm about my peace.
Yeah.
Always.
Especially when it's like a birthday thing. I don't want to have to be considering so many other variables when I'm supposed to be having a good time.
Oh, will this person get along with? And guys, could they potentially create a problem? If you're already having to think like that about someone, respectfully, like, it's okay for them to stay home.
And I'm this type of person that, as much as I want to be on the other end, like I admire people that's like, you know what, sort yourselves out. I want to enjoy my birthday. I can't spoon feed you. Right. I'm not like that. I'm a type of person that cares about, like, I want to make sure everyone's having a good time. And when you're not, I notice it and I'm just like, what's wrong? I really wish I wasn't like that, so I can just, guys, please, I'm enjoying. Please learn to enjoy. Do you know what I mean? But when I'm hosting people, I'm the type to go around, you okay? Like, you good? And then if I know it's an office vibe, like, what's wrong? And if I feel like, and thank God I don't feel like I have friends like that. I feel like my friends really very much read the room and they take care of themselves in those situations. Like, even if something is wrong, they'll probably just explain later, but they'll have fun. You know, and not ruin the day.
Not take away. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves, especially like on weddings. If something's gone wrong, you're going to go and tell the bride. Is everybody all right? Like, everybody.
No, I think that's really, really, really insensitive.
It's classless.
Yeah. Do you know what's funny? I saw this. I saw this this woman giving not advice, but she was just saying the worst for her. The worst types of female friendships are the ones that you feel like you have to think for them. And it's like you're always thinking for them and they don't genuinely use their brains. And she said she's so fed up of that because sisterhood is such a beautiful thing, but obviously everything has like a different side, and that side she just cannot keep thinking for people.
Right.
Like, use your initiative.
We're all getting older.
And
I'm just like, there has to come a point where, you know, we're all assets to each other and nobody's a liability. Because yes, people have different strengths. Like within a group, there's always strengths, but you should be an asset to the group.
Right.
You should offer something.
100%. For you to be friends in the first place, like, you're like-minded people anyway to some extent. Like, you share common interests. Right. At least one,
you'd
2 or
hope
3.
so anyway.
Do you know what I mean? And I think it, again, like, I think this could be a segue to actually what the topic is today. Do you think we should still talk about it?
Yeah.
I think it's a nice segue.
I'm going to ask the question that kind of links to it. Because I was going to say, if you had to think, obviously we're talking about 10 and 30, like, if you think about your 21st birthday and then your 30th, would you say the same people who came to your 21st are the same people that are coming to your 30th? Or if we make it a bit like less broad, your 25th, do you think they're going to be the same people at your 30th? Why or why not? Do you think you've outgrown people?
More or less so, I feel like. Because when I look back to my 25th, when I look back to my 25th, maybe like 1 or 2 people won't be there. But outside of that, because you guys know I've always been very specific with my list. Like, I've always been someone, when I write a list, I'm like, okay, and then I have people on standby. So if this person or that person,
not the standby,
but it depends on what kind of birthday it is.
Right,
if it's like, okay, do you know what? I want numbers. Like, I want, you know, like, I want it to be a good time. I want quite a few people there. Then that's when I create the standby,
the extensive list.
Right, but I'm thinking of the main list. It's more or less the same people. I'm not gonna lie.
What did I do for my 25th?
I don't even remember.
I don't really do much for my 25th. I feel like it was my 20th. When I think of my 21st, probably not
it's a big jump.
Like, a lot of people are not on that sort of list moving forward, but there's some additional people, if that makes sense. So I've met people along the journey from my 21st that weren't at my 21st.
Right.
25th, pretty much the same or close to. Closer to 25 than 21.
Right. I remember your 25th actually.
25th, like, I had a little surprise with the girls, and then we went to a camp. So
that was 25.
I know.
That's crazy.
You're lying.
That feels like it was last year. But that it wasn't last
year.
It
wasn't.
All right.
Wow.
No problem.
3 years ago.
I think mine would be the same. I think mine has been the same people forever. Actually.
I love that.
Yeah, like it barely changes.
Little changes.
Ones.
Nothing crazy.
21st would have been more people from sixth form as well, a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And stuff. But now, unless we speak like more, like unless we're still speaking on like a certain level,
yeah,
then you probably wouldn't be. But I think that's understandable. I think everybody understands.
No, 100. This is what I'm saying. I feel like people that know, like my friends know.
That's
that
what I'm saying.
like there's certain people, if I invited them to my birthday, they'd be like, why? Because it's so black and white.
They'd be really
me.
surprised.
You know what I mean? Except if it was like a huge party.
Yeah, then it's
a little bit
like,
different.
okay,
it's like,
cool.
but whereas if it's an intimate thing, a lot of people would not expect invites anyway. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But anyway, leading into the topic about friendships, I was having a discussion the other day with one of my other girls, and the conversation just came up, and the question is, do you outgrow friendships or do you stop making efforts? And I thought that was such an interesting one, genuinely interesting one, because you hear these days, like I see it all over social media, and this is why, again, I always say it's important to filter out the things that you absorb from social media, because even if you feel like you're not an easily influential person, things can still get into
to seep into your subconscious.
Do you know what I mean? Very, very easy. And I've seen a lot of people talking about friendship, especially when they get to like a milestone age or things are happening in their lives. They feel like, you know, maybe there's that jealousy in friendships. Let's speak specifically sisterhood. There's like jealousy, or maybe they're not on the same level anymore. Someone's either exceeding or doing something different from what they initially started to do together. And it's almost like, does that then mean I've outgrown the friendship, or does it just mean you could have done more in that friendship to make it happen before you decided to call it quits? Because it seems like, I think where the conversation was going is, it seems like a lot of women are easy to let go of friendships after a certain age instead of putting in the effort. And what do you guys
That's a hard one.
That is.
Because I think it's a mix of both.
I was going to say that.
Like I generally think there's some friends that as I'm getting older, it's not even like there's any problem. It's just like where we're both going maybe isn't that aligned. And like where I met you, I wasn't planning to make a lifelong friend or something. So as I'm growing, like as my life is going, we might not speak that much, but it's not a problem. And there's some people that unfortunately, I feel like just because of the busyness of life and just how things can happen where things just fall through the cracks, like you can subconsciously stop making effort, and then years will pass or months will pass and you realize you haven't spoken to someone that you're close to for a long time. And I think that's always redeemable. I think that's always a redeemable situation. But yeah, I do think I think we're getting like 30 is 3 decades on this planet, by the way. So I feel like, to be honest, on one hand, I'm like, having the same group of friends from when you're like 11 to 30 is a flex, and at the same time it could be a con because maybe you're not growing. Right. Like it depends on the people that are involved in the scenario. But I think it's a mix of both for me.
And I love that you said that, because I always see people saying, you know, if I meet someone and they don't have the same friends from secondary school or primary school, like I see it as a red flag. Yeah, I see it as a red flag. When I think it can also be a green flag, because a lot of the times, you like, just because I've known you for a long time, I don't want to be friends with someone out of convenience or familiarity, or because I've known them for a very, very long time. If that's the basis of your friendship, because you've known them for a long time and that's it, then maybe there needs to be deeper reflection and say, actually, is this someone that I need in my life, or are they there out of convenience, or because they're like a comfort blanket? And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I also think when you think of we're getting older, life is gonna life, you know, we're moving into like that next chapter where people are getting married, having kids. Like, you should be protective of, you know, what you're building and who you want around that. So I don't just want someone there because, I've known you a long time and we share so many memories, but actually, what do you add in my life and what do I add in your life? Do you know what I mean? So I think both is true. I think it's definitely sad when you see friendships dismantle, if that's the word, because of lack of effort. But again, I agree, it's definitely redeemable and I think it's definitely fixable. But again, both parties you know, there has to be that honest conversation of, okay, this is where I slipped up, and you know, this is where the other person slipped up. Like, how can we fix this moving forward? And I do think that sometimes you outgrow people. I think the things that bonded us before, that's just, it's not there anymore. And I do think that there are friendships that's seasonal, and that's okay. But you do also have to acknowledge, I think people sometimes can use that as an excuse, like, oh, friendships are seasonal. No, you're just a bad friend.
Yeah, thanks.
You don't care about maintaining the friendships around you. You're happy to, you know, like, dismiss friendships over the smallest inconvenience or over the smallest disagreements. But when it comes to, you see this all the time when it comes to women and like men they're dating, like, you'll keep them around, like, after mistake, but your friend that, you know, where there's been miscommunication or something bad happened, you're not willing to have that conversation with them.
Wow. And actually, honestly, I feel like you've basically went in the direction that I really wanted to go in that down that route. So that's really good, guys.
What do you want to say?
No, that was really
such a teacher answer.
Honestly, like, that was really good answers. So, you know, the bit that I said, you know, there's some friendships that are, what was the word that I used? I said some friendships are, or some people just don't try enough.
Yeah. Right.
Do you think that's a real thing that a lot of people do, where they, like, do you think a lot of people walk out of friendships? Or if you look at all the friendships that haven't worked out, do you think the people that have been involved in that, do you think a lot of them could look back and say, I honestly tried my best for this friendship to work? Like, by the way, let's filter out the seasonal friends. Let's look at the friendships where you actually want them in your life, or do you actually like this person and they're not a seasonal friend. Let's just say it comes to a point you realize that maybe you are on different paths, or you know this person, we started this together but I want something else now, or I've gotten to a certain stage in life, and again, I think a lot of friendships happen that way, where it fizzles out for those reasons. Do you feel like people that end up with the result of it fizzling out, have they put in the effort to actually try and make that friendship work, or is it just a thing where And honestly, I feel like what you said, Ashley, is what hit the nail for me, and why I actually wanted to have this conversation, because the friend I was discussing with made a lot of good points. And one of the points that they made was they have noticed, especially like in women friendships, women tend to prioritize their romantic relationships and put in more efforts in comparison to their friends, their sisterhood, let's say. And it's such a prominent thing. We probably see it all the time. And it's just, if you have it in you to fight for something, why is your energy more focused on that direction than with a sisterhood, where it's like, yes, we could be growing apart, and like you might have another interest, and fair enough, maybe that this person has hit a milestone and this person is still sort of here. If you really still want it to work, sometimes it can take just uncomfortable conversations. That's what friendships are about. Can you say you've done that to maintain your friendships? Whereas, like you said, if it was the man that has been treating you crap for years, your toxic relationship, you can sit there and want to talk to him for hours to sort things out.
Sometimes it doesn't even have to be toxic, because I realize people will use that example and always result it to, oh, you know, when it's a bad relationship, it's toxic. Even if it's the healthiest relationship, you will pour so much into that relationship because it's healthy and because you see yourself spending the rest of your life with that person. So why not the same energy with a friend? Well, if you consider them a lifelong friend, why not that same...
why is it so easy to sort of let go of?
And I've seen people use the rebuttal of, well, you know, this is my friend that I've had for years, so I hold them to a higher standard. Well, wouldn't you hold the person that you have a romantic relationship with to a higher standard technically, because that's the person that you're going to be spending the rest of your life with, that you're going to be entering a covenant with. Last time I checked, I'm not entering a covenant with my sister. Like, that's my sister, like, you guys are my soul sisters, but I'm going to be standing before God with your man, making a vow with the man that I'm with. So technically that standard should be higher, 100. And like a more significant standard with the person you're with. So why isn't that same energy, why aren't we quicker to give that grace to our friends?
I genuinely think it's how women are socialized, you know, because I think we're socialized to prioritize men over friendship.
And that's what I'm trying to
That's
get
a
at.
good point.
I genuinely think so. I think we are, and it's very subconscious. Like I think like,
sometimes, yeah.
Like I genuinely think, even if you think back to school, like the opinion of a guy was more important to a girl than the opinion of her friend. Like if a guy found you pretty, I feel like for a lot of girls that meant a lot more than having a solid friendship with your girls. And I think how that looks as you get older and become a grown woman is you are constantly on the lookout for your potential relationship, or you're fighting for your relationship to work, a romantic one, but and the energy and the same level of love and care is not given to your girls. And what happens is you have a lot of surface level girl friendships where it's like, okay, we go out and like we know how to have a good time together, but like there's I feel like the reason why for me sisterhood is really important is because as much as I can have a great time with my man, like being with your, I don't know how to explain it. There's just a sensitivity to being a girl that like you can't, a man doesn't do that. Like it's
and he
not,
shouldn't.
And it's not his role.
It's not his role.
Yeah.
Like you've heard the saying where one person can't fulfill all your needs. That's a lot of pressure on that person as well. So you kind of need different people for different things. 100%. Like as much as you know you are entering a covenant with your partner, and that person is going to be, should God willing, be forever with you and you do life together. But then you should water your other relationships around you. Your friends will serve a different purpose than your man will. You know, and I think, I don't know where the mismatch comes in. I don't know where the lack of, I don't know. I think
that's a really good point though about what you said, how, because I was even trying to think like, where does this stem from? Because you see it from a very, very young age, a very young age, and we see it in our parents' generation. Like even when I look at my parents, like my dad specifically, I know we're talking about like girlfriends, but my mum is my dad's friend. Like not to say he doesn't have friends, he has friends. But like like sometimes when I have conversations with about certain stuff, like he's so quick to be like, just like cut them off. Like
no, I think
over the littlest thing he'll be like, yeah, no, that's it. But I'm like, that mindset it will definitely socialize 100%. And will definitely like programmed in comparison to when he's having conversations with my brother now. There's a little bit more leniency, and it reminds me like of that. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's an Instagram post, and this girl was reading a poem about a speech that her in the poem, a mum gave a speech at her daughter's bridal shower, and they asked her like, okay, what advice would you give to someone that's getting married? So they're expecting like, do this for your husband, do this. Da, 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 da.
I saw that. I reposted it.
And then in the speech, everyone was surprised because her speech was, don't forget your girlfriends.
That's it.
That, you know, 10 years, 20 years from now, when you've given birth, when you're feeling sick, when you're feeling unwell, there's only so much that your husband is going to do, but your girlfriends will come, they'll cook for you, they'll make you feel lighter, they'll take you out to get your nails done, they'll do this, like they'll basically, what you guys are saying, they'll fulfill a role that they'll wear hats that your husband cannot. At the end of the day, your husband is not a woman. He will not understand what womanhood entails. Your girlfriends do. Your girlfriends will exactly understand the fluctuation in your hormones.
That's it.
Like the changes in your body. They will understand it to a T. So they'll understand what they can provide you and what you need, and they can cater to that. So,
especially if you've been
like
friends for
if
years.
I find it, like I'll send it and I'll try to like leave it in the comments down below. It was so emotional. It was
same.
so,
I cried. When I saw that, I cried, and I think that's why I messaged you and I asked about your sessions, because I wanted to share it with you. I should have put it in a group chat, but it was so emotional.
You know why that's deep to me? Is because I genuinely feel like when it comes to womanhood, like it's not bragged on enough. Like romantic relationships are hyped up all the time, but sisterhood, like I feel like people do. There's some sections of like society that do, but in general, like I grew up with a mum that was very into herself and didn't really go and see her friends, and that was just the norm, because she has a husband and she has children, and that's it. But I'm like, your life is so much fuller when you embrace your friendships with your girls, because there's so many things that you're all going through at the same time. Like as we're all aging, we're gonna go through similar things in our bodies all at the same time. When you have kids, like the way that they'll look after you is different. Even if and I believe that we're all gonna have the best husbands in the world, but it's also like it's just different.
Amen.
There's just, do you know what I mean? It's just different. Like, okay, you go through, like, even just little things like your life changing, getting married, like, you need your friends.
You do.
And in a capacity that is different than a man and what you require from a man,
Right.
because your sisters are your sisters. It's almost like it's like doing life with no you don't have to have a filter. Where not to say, to be fair, I'm the type to be very myself with a man, but as in with your girls, it's even on a different level, because especially if, what Tem said about if you've known them for a long time and
they know what you like what you guys relate on, and they've seen you grow, and it's just so beautiful when it's done well. And speaking of when it's done well, I feel like what you said actually about your dad, just saying, like, kind of making it like as if it's just cut them off sort of thing. I feel like maybe the reason why a lot of people could have that mentality, because you hear it all the time, like, oh, like, friendships, be careful, because yes, there is another side to friendship that's quite dark, unfortunately, and you know, there's jealousy, there's envy, there's these things in friendships. You never know the heart of man, you know, people's minds, you just never know. So there's that con side and just that dark side to friendship, and I think that's maybe where it comes from. But then it makes me think 100%. in romantic relationships, it's the same thing. There is a dark side.
So do we tell people not to get in a relationship?
There is a dark side to a romantic relationship. If anything, even in the dark side, even if you're open about it, they still tell you to stay.
Right.
100.
So it's
societal, because genuinely, you're seen as a better woman if you have a man and your house, like, you're seen as
you
a
have
better
more
woman.
value.
Yeah.
You have more, and that's
what it's a social currency.
Literally, I was going to add to that as well. Like, if you, even at work, I've said this so many times, studying psychology, like, research shows a man that is married is seen as more credible in the workplace. Like, same way probably as a woman. A woman that has a family at home is seen as more responsible, because you're looking after a home, you're you know, taking care of your husband and your home and things like that. So of course we understand that part of it, but I feel like it would be good if that credit was also shown, or that grace was also shown to friendships, because there are very good friendships out there, and I know
there's friendships worth fighting for.
100%. I agree, and I feel like what taints that a bit is because of things that we've heard about, you know, like toxic friendships, or, you know,
things that we see
like things we see on social media, or things we've heard some people have gone through, or sometimes things that we might have gone through ourselves. But I genuinely feel like outside of that trauma, when we have healed, well, we should be healing, and healing looks like understanding that there are extreme ends of different things in life,
right,
and trying your hardest to control it, where you're sort of in a good space where your perspective isn't too tainted. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
100%.
And you can't, I don't know, I personally believe in this life, I don't know why, I don't know if it's our generation or maybe the younger generation, but there's this glorification of being alone is cool. And it ain't.
It's not.
Like, we're not as human beings.
Or even if you have a man, like,
that's it, you and your
friends,
man.
like, that's your bestie.
In the world.
I saw a clip on social media. It was from Love and Hip Hop. That already tells you what you need to know. And it was a discourse between two friends, Yandy and Rashida.
Oh, okay.
And Rashida's been married for a very long time.
Oh, gosh.
And I think he's, like, cheated multiple times.
Kirk
and,
is crazy.
Yeah. But her friend has all, like, from what I've seen anyway, and the way people explain it in the comments is, you know, the other friend Yandy has always been there for her. Like, when
Yandy
her
seems
husband,
like she's always been there for
when
her.
her husband does something wrong, or when other people are trying to get involved, like, she defends Rashida in her absence. And then obviously she feels like when it came to her turn now, like Yandy's marriage or whatever was in,
Rashida wasn't in support.
Rashida didn't really defend. Right. So, you know, she brought it up and was just like, you know what, like, I didn't really feel like you had my back. And Rashida blurted out, like, you know, I don't have any friends. My only friend is my husband. I said,
do you know what? In conclusion, because the time, and that actually was a point I was going to make, that I actually think a good telling of a woman, for me, someone that I'd want to be friends with, is if they're a good friend to other people in their life existing already. Like, there's one of my friends, Beryl, oh my God, seeing how she is a friend to her friends, like, attracted me to her,
right?
Because, like, I think that's very real. What you just explained is exactly what's in my brain.
I hope it made sense, guys, for people following.
Because there are a lot of women that, when push comes to shove.
So what? So they were just in the friendship for decoration until something. Because at the end of the day, part of friendship is the journey of ups and downs.
Guys, it was so.
So you were waiting for the down to leave.
She genuinely looked hurt.
Oh no!
Like, she genuinely, like, this is not a business relationship. Like, we're not just friends on the show. We're friends outside of this.
My only friend is my husband.
It was kind of like, oh, so I know where I stand now. Like, I need to move accordingly. And I think a lot of women
Feel that way
have that
sometimes.
same mindset. Even her husband was disappointed hearing that.
To me, I think,
and that says a lot.
That says a lot.
It's just silly.
It's crazy.
And that's what I'm saying. We're always telling women what to look for in men, but we should be telling women what to look for in women.
Right.
Because there are some women out here that when you're in a nice relationship and everything is fine and dandy, oh yeah, we're the married women, you know. But then when life is hitting them, when life is hitting you, they disappear because they don't want to be associated with that. And
that is trifling.
That making
I'm sorry.
effort thing is very important.
And
make the effort.
And honestly, see what you just said again. I think it was honestly such a great way to see this conversation, like visualize this conversation, because as you said, it's not as if Kirk has been Rashida's husband. He's hurt her, where the whole world has seen it multiple. And her
girls have.
And if you
rode out for her,
and obviously I don't know if Yandy has hurt Rashida in any way. She probably has. Let's just say she has, but. We're not comparing, but the point I'm trying to make is Kirk has done numerous things to Rashida, and the fact that you're so quick to just my husband's my only friend. You've forgotten the friends that were there for you and your sisters that picked you up when you were in tatters. At the end of the day, it's not a competition. I think different people play different parts in your life, and at the end of the day, your husband will come up. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? It's above your friends, but
that doesn't mean you dismiss your friends.
Doesn't mean he's more important than your friends.
Right.
Like, yeah, he's not more important than your friends.
I think everyone holds us like different levels of importance. I don't think it's a competition.
It's not competition.
Like I do feel like your husband. Remember, we're talking about a covenant. We're not talking about a boyfriend. It's different.
It just looks different.
Husband.
You're one
is important.
Because you're one with him.
You're one with him, so he is very important in your life. But I think your friends are important too, but they just play a different role. That's it. And it's just unfortunate that some people don't see it that way.
Yeah, man. I think what the message is here, guys, as a girl,
just
invest
don't lose
in your
your
female
friends.
friendships.
Don't forget your friends.
Consider sisterhood a high thing to have and keep because you need it.
Yeah,
they keep you accountable in a way that nobody else can.
Right.
So that's
like, don't leave them behind. Right. Honestly, and I know. Sorry, just to wrap up, I feel like sometimes it can be very hard when a woman gets into a relationship to sort of navigate and have that balance. 100%.
And in the beginning, it's not. That's normal.
Yeah, not gonna take that away. 100%. I think again, it's still remembering that your friends are still there and not completely shut them away because of a man and just checking in, you know, when they need you, most importantly anyway, and then from then on continue to build on like other parts of your friendship, but never put your people aside completely, because you're never going to know when you need them, and that shouldn't even be your driving force to do something, because then it becomes transactional. You know, so do something because you care about a person and leave it as that.
You both summed it up perfectly.
Beautiful. Thank you guys. See you next week.
Bye.